All right, and I'm really excited about going over all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and open in prayer, and then we're going to jump right in to doing some training on the personality test. Dear Lord, thank you so, so much for this amazing group of women. I pray that you would just help us to have a really great meeting tonight, help us to be encouraged and have fun. And I pray for Megan's son specifically that you would just let the fever break, that you would let him start feeling better, that you give Megan an extra measure of grace and peace and comfort through all of this. As I know as a mom, it's so hard. I pray that you would just bless her family. I pray that you'd help all of us to have her back and to be encouraging to her. I pray that you'd help this meeting to be a blessing to everyone who watches the recording as well. And I pray, amen. Okay, let's do this thing. And I always, just so y'all know, if you're having something like this, please tell me. I try to stay up on Facebook and stuff, but this is the kind of thing like, please text me, please message me when you have like something big going on with your family. I want to pray for you and I want to know about it. You're not bothering me. Our relationship is bigger than just Mary Kay. So please, and I know my mom feels the exact same way when there's something like this, please let us know because we want to be there for you, but we just don't always catch everything. Um, so please make sure you're like telling us that kind of stuff. Hey, Mindy, welcome. All right, so we're going to launch into our disc training. I know Mindy was here for this one last time, but like I said, it's been about a year. So let's jump into this. Okay, so disc is DISC, and all of those letters stand for different personality types. So we're going to go kind of in depth on each one. So D, we're going to start there. And this one, I could not find a copy of this online. So the one that I put in the files in the Fearless unit is great for just like having the kind of the little points about what each personality type is. But this one is specific about team building with Mary Kay using the disc personality. But I could not find this. I'm going to check in with Nancy and see if she has the PDF for this. But if I can't, that's why I'm encouraging you to take notes tonight so that you have this information accessible at a future date. Okay, but as you're taking notes, I want you to kind of think through, like, put check marks next to the ones that apply to you, and then maybe X's next to the ones where you're like, that is not like me at all. Because there's going to be several things in here that you'll be like, oh, that's me. And then some things where you're like, not even a little bit me. So let's start with D. D stands for dominance. And I know as women, sometimes we're just like, oh, I don't want that to be me because dominance sounds like so harsh, but it is okay. It just means that you are confident. And that is something that can come across a little too intensely sometimes, but also it is an incredible quality for a leader. And being a leader is such a good thing. So D stands for dominance. This is how most people will kind of respond to if you ask her, like, tell me about yourself. A D will talk about her job and her accomplishments. Okay, so if you're talking to somebody and you're sharing the Mary Kay opportunity with them and you say, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself, because sometimes you don't know them that well, or maybe you do, but you'd like to just kind of hear how they see themselves. I think that's really helpful when you're having those conversations. Someone that is a D personality will talk about her job and her accomplishments. I'm just curious, as we go through here, I'd love to see it in the chat, or if you can wave, how many of you feel like that kind of applies to you? That would be a little bit me. I'm very accomplishment driven. That's something that I would probably talk about. If you feel like that, Megan, yes, I get that. I think mom, I could be wrong. Mom says hi to you right here. And then some of you are going, that's not what I would talk about. Okay. But here it's like some characteristics about a D in general. And you don't have to write all of these down, but if there's some that kind of help you. Janet, is it okay if I mute your microphone real quick? So sorry. I know there's some other things going on.
Yeah. I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine all the time. Oh, I just asked you to unmute. I didn't mean that. No, you're just fine. I am unmuted sometimes, and I think I'm muted, and vice versa. So, oh, it happens to all of us. But okay, so here are some character traits about a D, and you don't have to write all of these down, but you might want to just like pick 2 or 3 to kind of think, okay, so D personality, these are things that'll show. Results oriented, that's who a D. D personality is very results oriented, so I identify with that. Career focused, and that is, some women are incredibly career focused. Some women their career is really in homemaking, which isn't considered, career. It is. Nobody can say that a mom is not working way harder than anybody else, but they're very career focused. They make quick decisions. So if you find yourself and you're like indecisive, you're probably not high D. But if you are like, I'm presented with information, I decide, that is high D. They're direct. Now, this is where sometimes D's can get a bad reputation because they may just tell it how it is. And that can be really helpful because you know exactly where they stand, exactly what they think. It can also be a little too intense sometimes. I can be a little bit of a D, so I know this from who I am. So they can be very direct. They're very independent, and that is incredible. To have a D on your Mary Kay team is great because they don't really need a lot from you. They'll come to you when they need something, but they're going to figure it out. And that can be really nice. I have enough D in me that that's very much me. Now, if you are like me and you have a D in you, be prepared. Most people are not like that. That is actually a little bit unusual. So you'll probably need to give a lot more help to your teammates than you needed yourself if you're a D, and that's okay. I think it can be really easy to get impatient, but that's just, it's different personality. So I think knowing that is really helpful and helps people like me have a little bit more patience when it's like, you know what, that is okay. Just because it's not who I am doesn't mean it's wrong. They're very self-confident, and that can come across a little like being a little too cocky, or it can come across as she walks in and she stands straight and she's someone where you go, wow, this woman knows who she is. She knows what she wants. That's how a D looks. And they can also be impatient. Both my hands are up. I am impatient. But the thing is that you might not know about a D is that they're the most impatient with themselves. So if they're being impatient with you, just know that they are they're being much harder on themselves behind the scenes where you can't see it. And so that's why they hold everyone else to such a high standard, as they hold themselves to such a high standard. And it's just really good. Okay. So if you have a D on your team, or if you're working to recruit somebody that's kind of got that D personality, here's what you might focus on during a team building appointment. Here's what's going to appeal to her. And it might be different than what appeals to you about the Mary Kay opportunity. So this is where it gets so helpful. Okay. She wants to know about the leadership and income potential. That's what I needed to know to make my decision. She needs to know, is there a career path? The answer is yes. She needs to know, can you actually make money? The answer is yes. But she needs to know that. That's what you'll want to make sure you're covering with her. Talk to her about the career path. Talk to her about the ways that we make money in Mary Kay. The second thing she'll want to know is that she is an independent beauty consultant, which means that no one's going to tell her what to do. That's not why she's starting her business. She kind of wants to be able to do her own thing and prioritize it as much or as little as she wants to. So she's going to need to know that this is an independent business where she can do her thing. Yes, yeah. My mom says in the comments, off-putting if not presented well. That can be a D. So those are things, if you're a D, to look out for, but also don't be scared of a D. They're confident, but boy, are they a strong teammate if you can get a D on your team, because they know what they are about. They are going to want to move up the career path quickly, and they're going to be very motivated by that. Some people could not care at all about building a team, and that's okay. It's not required. But a D, they're going to care a lot about building a team, doing those accomplishments, having that goal, next thing, next thing. They really like the idea of being their own boss. That's really important. You'll want to make sure they know they are their own boss, because I mean, let's be real here. I don't really like asking for time off. I didn't get to go to adoption day for my nieces and nephew, and I was not a fan of that. Yeah, Megan's like, today Megan's feeling that especially. It was a hard day to have a boss because her boss did not treat her in a way that made sense with her circumstances. And the last thing is going to be really true of a D. Well, maybe not the last thing. The last thing on my list is they are all about that flexibility. They want to know how much control they have over this, because Ds like to be in charge. It's just true. Okay, for a team building appointment with the D, you want it to be a short appointment. They do not need to know every detail about Mary Kay. And this is going to sound so harsh, but when you know it, it actually makes it less harsh. They don't need to know a lot about your Mary Kay journey. They're not worried about it. They just need to know, can I make money? Can I build my team? Good. That's what I needed to know. That's all they need to know. It's crazy. I have had 10-minute phone calls and they know what they want to do by the end of the phone call. It is not a 30-minute situation. Now, I needed more time than that. I have enough not D in me that I wasn't ready for that. But some people are just like, they know, they're good. Be brief, but thorough. Don't leave things out, but like, be concise with your description for them, and don't dwell on the fluff. They're not super worried about getting prizes and recognition in the community. They will probably end up enjoying that quite a bit, but that's not what they need to know in a team building appointment. That's to them a bonus, and that was to me a bonus. I loved my community, but I wanted to know if I could make money. That's what I needed to know. So that's okay for them to prioritize that. Next thing, provide direct answers. She's going to have direct questions, and that can come across feeling sometimes like you're in trouble almost, because she's like, well, what about this? What about that? And she's not going to like mince words. Just be direct back with her. That she's not being harsh. She's just, that's her personality. That's just traits of a D. And then outline the steps to a leadership role. Give her a big picture of like, if you start, this is where you can go with it. She doesn't need to know about all of the exact things about like, these are the number of people you need to share with to get a teammate, and then you need this many teammates to do that. She just needs to know, yeah, once you start, when you have 3 people, team builder, 5 to 7 is team leader. She just needs that big picture of like, where can this go? And then let her do the talking. If you are also a D like me, that's really hard because you want to tell her all of your things. So I've started, when I'm doing phone calls with people and doing shares, asking them to ask me questions. Helps me listen better and actually tell them what they want to know, because what they want to know may be totally different than what I wanted to know. And then the last thing, she'll probably know by the end of that appointment if she wants to do this. Now, there are exceptions to that. I kind of knew I wanted to do it, but it wasn't a good time for me, so I said no. That falls under that category, but she's going to kind of know what she wants to do by the end of that appointment. She's going to be very decisive. So that's like all things about a D. And remember, I have this in not this exact document, but something similar in the files for the Fearless unit. So do not stress if you are not able to write all of this down. And also you have access to me. So if you're like, hey, can you tell me more about this or that? Like, I got you back. Okay. Moving on to the I of DISC. I stands for influence. These are the influencers. Okay, when you ask her, hey, tell me about yourself, she's going to talk about herself and what she likes. She's going to be like, oh my goodness, well, I love coffee, and one of my favorite hobbies is shopping, and she's just going to share about who she is. And that's like your first clue. Oh, this is an I. Whereas the D, she was talking about like, well, I got first place in the spelling bee when I was in 5th grade, and at work I just got a promotion. Like, that's who a D is. She knows what she has gotten done. Now I am, when I test on this, I am an I and a D almost equally. So I identify strongly with both of these. And you might be listening going, none of these are me. Don't worry, there's still S and C. So that's like other options there. Okay, here are characteristics of an I. She's people-oriented. That's very much me. I like people. She's recognition-focused. Oh, I know that one's me. It feels really selfish, doesn't it? But I like it when somebody tells me, hey, you did a good job, and I see you did a good job. I'm like, yes, that just like fills me up really, really big. She's very expressive. I mean, clearly I'm an I. Very expressive, very animated, very enthusiastic, and loves to talk. Impulsive, that's where I'm not quite so much of an I. I'm not incredibly impulsive because I'm very like, I don't like risk. So that part is not me, but it might be you. Not detail oriented. I am not detail oriented. That's why I need lots of reminders. If one of your customers want a prize from me and I didn't send it, I'm not offended if you ask me if I sent it, because I might not have, because I'm really bad at keeping lists and being detail oriented. I need people who are detail oriented to keep people like me on track. Okay, what you might focus on during a team building appointment with an I. You're gonna know an I because she's gonna be the party girl in the room. She's gonna be like the sunshine gal, where she's like making everything fun, everybody's laughing, everybody's having a great time. She's an I, most likely. Okay, what you need to focus on during a team building appointment with an I. Working with people. Let her know she gets to influence people and she gets to have that impact, and she gets to do parties because so fun. Let her know about prizes. Okay, I do like a good prize. I like the prize. I like the recognition that comes with getting a prize. Let her know about the impact she can have on others. That's important to her. She wants to know that she's having that impact. Let her know she has the ability to be creative. That's very important to an I, to know that she has that flexibility for her personality to shine through. Let her know about all the recognition you get in Mary Kay. Oh, I loved going to meetings and being like, I was the queen of sales, or I was the queen of sharing. I loved that. I still do, but like recognition is huge. And let her know about seminar. Now, some of you guys don't really know about seminar because you've not gotten to go to one in person yet, but it's like so good, you guys. It really doesn't matter what your personality is. You'll love it. But if you're an I, you'll love it to like the 10th. It's just everything that fills up an I's soul. It's fun, and it's big, and it's fancy, and it's people, and It's so inspiring and encouraging. It's everything that an I is looking for. All right, now for a team building appointment, here's what it'll look like with an I. It's probably going to be a long appointment because she's going to have lots of stories to share, lots of things. That's where I'm different than an I. I can be pretty direct. I don't like summoner. You left out an A. Summoner. She's a teacher, so it's okay. That really got me. Okay, let's see, long appointment. Second thing, allow time for relationship building. She wants to have a relationship with you. If you're going to recruit her, Mary Kay, she wants to be your friend, and she's a fun friend to have. So just knowing that she wants to build that relationship. Whereas a D, this is not to sound harsh, but a D is not as worried about a relationship. They're worried about results. And that is okay. D's get things done. In my mind, D stands for done. Like they get it done. Don't bore her with details. That's me. If you start giving me all the ins and outs of everything, I tuned out. I cannot listen to details. This is so funny. Yesterday we're sitting in church listening to the announcements. It's like I black out during announcements. I cannot listen to them. I don't know what we're doing at my church ever because they start the announcements and I'm like, oh, it's time to talk to my friend and ask her about her week. Like I do other things. So I can't listen to the details. So, and I will probably not listen to your details. She needs simple explanations, long-winded explanations how to do stuff. Like, I'm gone, I'm out. I don't know what you said. Ask her lots of questions because eyes like to talk. You like to talk. Provide I stories of people who've been successful. She wants to know that there are people who've made this work. That was super important to me. That's why I liked Mary Kay. 58 years, women had full-time careers. I needed to know that in order to decide if I even want to try this. I didn't want to try something I couldn't build. That's somewhat of a that to me is really kind of like almost that could go in the D section, but it's listed under I. Show pictures rather than written material. This could not be more true for me. I am the most visual person I know. If you try to tell me something in written form, I'll be like, that's what I love. We get HelloFresh. And what I love about it is they show me pictures of what they mean with their explanation of like, how are they talking about cutting up this vegetable? And I look at the picture, I'm like, I get it. But that's how I learn. I'm incredibly visual. And she's also probably going to decide quickly. It's a party. She's probably in because those eyes are party girls. All right. The next one on disc, S, steady. My husband would probably be an S. He's the best thing that ever happened to me because we balance. Okay, so an S, when you ask her how, like, tell me about yourself, she's going to talk about her family and the work she does for her family or her church. She's not super worried about who she is. She's worried about if you know that she's good at taking care of people and serving and how she takes care of the others around her. So I'm very curious. This is always interesting to me. How many of you, so just to recap, how many of you feel like you're a D? I know that I'm at least maybe, and I think Megan said that she was. Okay, anybody on here feel like they're an I besides me? I'm like half and half on I. Okay, I'm pretty sure. I think I might be more I than D. I'm pretty sure, but I still have a lot of D in me. Okay, how many of you feel like you might be an S? Where like if I ask you about you, you're going to talk about your family and how you're serving your church. Anybody on here feel like they're an S just based on that description? If you don't, that's okay, but I'm just curious. There's usually several that would be true for them. Okay, then we'll move forward. I was just curious. Okay. D and S about family. Yeah, Megan, that's like something that's very important to you. And most people test high in 2 categories. So you probably are a combo and you do have a little bit of the other 2 in you usually. Okay, here's the characteristics of an S. They're very family oriented. Everything works around the family. If she can't fit Mary Kay around, her family's already their life. She's probably not going to be that interested in it. She's security focused. She needs to know that this is not risky. She needs to know that this is stable. I got some S in me. Yep, Amanda says she's probably got some S in her. That was true of me. I needed to know that this was safe for sure. She's very loyal. Like once she's committed to someone, once you have gained her friendship, she's a loyal friend. She's going to be loyal to her customers. Amanda, I could definitely see a lot of this in you. Mindy, I'm just going to say, I feel like Mindy, you probably have some S in you because I see a lot of these character traits in you. She's easygoing. Like she's not going to be out there like making up the rules and being like, everybody has to do it my way. If somebody wants to take the lead, she's okay with that because she can follow along and not make waves with it. So that's really good. She abides by the rules. She's going to ask probably you some questions about like what would I be allowed to do, what would not be okay. So I think that's important because you have to be willing to come under at least a little bit of rules to be a Mary Kay. We have a lot of flexibility, but there are some things that the company asks us to do. So it's really good to be willing to comply. Very important. Friendship is the most important thing to her about her Mary Kay business, both friendship with the consultants, friendship with her customers, like having those deep, deep relationships, and also friendship with those that might want to be on her team. Like that is going to be very important. She's going to be slow to change. Once she's found something that works for her, she's probably going to have to think about whether or not Mary Kay is right for her because she's not looking to upset the boat. She's probably pretty comfortable and she doesn't do things unless they work. So she's going to try Mary Kay. She needs to be sure it's going to work for her and her family. Okay, what you might focus on during a team building appointment with someone that is an S, keeping priorities in order. You know, in Mary Kay, our priorities are God first, family second, career third. She needs to know that. She needs to know that you are not asking her to stop putting all of her time into her church and into her family. She needs to know that she gets to pick. I definitely love building friendships with my teammates and customers. You know, Amanda, the more I'm describing this, the more I'm like, this really sounds like Amanda to me. You have the best relationships with your customers. I love it. Let's see. She needs to know that she will make new friends. That's important to an S because those relationships, they really fill her up. And that can be hard if you're like a stay-at-home mom and you don't get to meet a lot of people. So that can really fill a space for an S there. She needs to know that she'll have free education. So she's not going to be like, okay, here you go, toss you into the deep end, good luck. She needs to know that she'll have the support she needs, the materials she needs, that she can reach out to you for questions. She needs to know all of those things because once she knows something's going to work, she's very committed. If you can get an S on your team in Mary Kay, she's going to be on your team for Mary Kay, but she's not going to rush into that decision. She wants to know it's right for her and her family. At your team building appointment, you'll want to give simple explanations. She's not in there for like learning every single detailed thing about it. So give simple explanations. Share facts about how much it costs, how much time it takes, and how to get started. She doesn't necessarily care about these inspirational, this person became a national, like she doesn't need these flowery things. She needs to know, okay, give me the basics, this, and this, I need to know that. Explain how she'll be able to fit it into her busy schedule. S's are busy because they love to take care of people. They love to be with people. They're always doing something for their family. So she needs to know that it's not going to take away from what she enjoys about her life. That's very important. She'll need you to answer her questions. She will have questions for you. As an I don't know. I didn't have a ton of questions. I just needed her to tell me stuff. I don't know. I was just like, oh, that sounds fun, but will it cost my family money? Because I'm very frugal. I don't know if I think that's a little weird for an I, but that's just who I am. But an S, she's going to have questions for you. So just know that, and that's okay. It will probably take more than one appointment for an S to decide if she wants to do this. And that's okay. That's really normal. So that's with an S. Okay, last one is C for DISC. C stands for conscientious. And when you ask her, okay, tell me about yourself, she is going to say, she will ask you to clarify the question, perhaps by saying, what do you mean by that? Like she doesn't want to answer your question wrong. She'll say, well, what do you want to know? I'm like, that's fair. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, what's your situation? And they just stopped. And I was like, what? You like understand the question. So in that moment, I was a C because I was like, I don't even know, what are we asking about my finances? Are we asking about my emotional state? I needed some clarification because those are like, there's all kinds of different answers. I was like, oh, what are you asking me? But a C, they're going to say, what are you asking? That's like, okay, I'm talking to a C. That's how you can know that. Characteristics of a C, they are detail oriented. C's are so good for keeping us from getting kicked out of Mary Kay because I haven't read all the legal stuff. I don't know, you guys. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, it's probably fine. A C actually knows if it's fine. They've done the legal module on In Touch. I have too, completely. So I should have, but I haven't. So, all right, you guys, now you know. But a C, they're detail oriented. They are a perfectionist. If they do it, they're going to do it right, and they will have it all put in place. They're very analytical. So this isn't an emotional decision for them. I can make decisions on emotion. I'm like, that sounds fun. That sounds inspiring. That sounds great. I can do that. A C doesn't rest on emotion to make a decision. They rest on the facts. They rest on the figures. They rest on the things that they can actually count on. They are very exacting. So if you say, well, I make about this much a month, no, they need to know how much do you make a month. They're going to need to know how many minutes do I need to put in every day to do this. They can't know, well, it's about 5 hours a week. They're going to go, all right, is it about 5 hours or is it 5 hours and 45 minutes? Is it 4 hours and 35 minutes? They need to know that. That's important to them. I don't know. It's not important to me, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't know that information because I'm not sharing with me. I'm sharing with other people. They have different questions than I have. They're organized. Oh, I love C's because they're like, hey, they know how to organize things. I don't know how to organize things. Like it's just not at all who I am. I'm pretty sure I'm a high DI and I'm pretty sure my husband is a high SC, which is why our home is not an actual disaster. My office is, but the rest of our home does okay because Josh helps with that. Organized. They like the facts. They're not in this for the fluffy feelings. They need to know the facts of what works in this business. What you would focus on during a team building appointment with a C. They're able to work their own hours. They need to know that they have control over that. They need the facts of that. They need to know that there is personal growth. Most C's would like to be able to grow their personality, grow their circle, grow their confidence. So they need to know that there is room for that. And they need to know that there are leadership positions available because they're not probably in this just for fun. They're in this for a purpose. And they're going to know what that purpose is if they decide to do Mary Kay. They will appreciate all educational material available. If you have a C on your team, you cannot give them too much information. You can't because they'll use it all. They need it all. They want it all. I can be easily overwhelmed by too much information. I mean, like I said, I black out during announcements in church. I can't do it. And they're not even like these complicated things, but a C likes that information. So know that about her. And you are not recruiting yourself, you're recruiting her. So work with who she is, not who you are. And if you're a C, just know that not everybody needs that from you. It's okay. They may not need to know all the things in it. I think C's are stressed out by the rest of us because we don't know all the things and they're like, oh my goodness, you don't know if you're doing it right. And we don't. So for a C, I think the rest of us are like winging it and that's like really stressful. So there's really good, like you need C's in your life to keep you from just going off the rails, but just be thoughtful, whatever your personality is when you're working with another personality, just have that grace for it. Okay, and then the last section, at a team building appointment, be concise. C has other places to be. They have a schedule for their day. And if you said it'll be a 30-minute appointment, it's a 30-minute appointment. All right. Don't take 45 minutes of their time. Don't be late. That's something that I can be a little bit struggling with. I can run late to things. They build on the company's credibility. This is a solid company and they need to know that. They need to know how long it's been around. They need to know that there is a high success rate in Mary Kay. They need to know that they're making 50% profit. They need those facts and figures. Use facts in print, have it written down, and because they're probably going to fact check you because they want to know if that's true. They want to be able to look it up for themselves. They want to see it in writing. They'll want more videos and more information. They like information. It's important. Answer all of their questions. And if you can't answer a question, offer to look it up for them. Don't just say something. I'm really bad about that. Sometimes if I don't have a real solid answer, I'll just kind of give a vague answer. That doesn't work for a C. Tell them if you don't know the answer, say, you know what, that's a great question. I don't know right now, but I'll look it up and get back with you. And then look it up and get back with them. For me, it's out of sight, out of mind, but that's not for a C. They're waiting for you to give them that answer. Explain exactly what it takes to move up the career path. They do want to know the details on that. And then it probably will take more than one appointment for a C to decide if it's for them. But once they've decided, they've decided. That's the thing. That's the thing about an I like me. I can decide I'm out just as fast as I decide I'm in. So I'm fun, but I might not be as stable. A D is in it until it's not working. And then they can be a little bit like, you know what, I can go be successful somewhere else. But an S or a C, they're a lot more long haul gals. They are much more willing to stick out a rough patch because they're they're more stable, they're more steady. So there's so much value to each different kind, but knowing who you are and then knowing how to talk to the people that you're trying to build on your team, I think is super helpful. So is anybody on here, would you say identify as a C? Janet, what do you think you are as far as like the DISC? And I also know you had bad Wi-Fi, so you may not have been able to hear it all.
Hey, can I get unmuted? I need to ask you
Sure.
something.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, for some reason, when the I came up, the video wasn't working, and I don't know what I stands for.
Yes. Okay. I stands for influence, and they're the kind of, they're like the cheerleader.
Influence.
Yes. And they're kind of like the cheerleader kind of
Okay.
gal.
All
Very
right.
excited, very enthusiastic. There for a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they the ones that do the visual? They're visual people?
Yes.
They're visual people?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'll tell you what, I think I'm combinational.
You know what?
Is that a possibility?
Yes, you can actually test kind of evenly, which is a very well-rounded person. Okay, Mindy says in the comments she thinks she's a mixture between I and S. I could totally see that, Mindy, because you like to have fun, but also you are very, very family oriented. Well, and I see a lot of similarity between you and Amanda, Mindy, the way you like love your customers and build those relationships. So Janet, you feel like you're kind of a mix of kind of some of each of them you see? Is that right?
Well, yeah, I would say, oh, I don't know. Well, I would say a mix of I and S. I and S, maybe.
You know what? That kind of makes sense because that's what Mindy said. And I could actually see that in your personalities. You're very distinct people, like you're not the same person at all, but I could see some overlap in the way I see you like treat your customers and talk to your sister consultants. That might be why you ladies are some of the first to cheer everybody on when you see that somebody's had a grand day or something. And the S is the very family oriented, very like church oriented. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me if both you're that way. And Mom, I know you're kind of a high D. And what do you feel like there's any others that really resonate, or is it mostly D?
No, I'm probably not an S at all, but D with some I and probably D and I, mostly D, a little bit of I, once in a while some C because I should be, but not because I want to be.
I have, if you can test negative in a field, I test negative in C. I cannot listen to facts and figures and be detail oriented. It's like God just removed that from who I am.
I like to know the details so I know what my job is to get through it. I like to know what's ahead so I know what I need to do to get to where I need to be.
And just so y'all know, that makes me a little short-sighted as a leader sometimes, because sometimes she'll ask me questions and I do not know do not know the answer. So it doesn't matter what your personality is, you're going to have major strengths from it, and you're going to have some areas you'll have to work on from it, and both are just, they're okay. So this isn't about like who's a better or worse personality. There is no better or worse personality. It's just knowing who you are helps you interact better and more easily with others, because sometimes I can't understand why people just keep asking me questions and need to know more information, because that's just not who I am. But that's because it's not who I am. It's who they are, and that is okay. So I've always found this helpful because we're all a little selfish, probably some of us more than others. So knowing more about others is really important. So, okay, I have talked for a long time about this, so we're gonna have to rush through some other parts of this. If everyone is okay with it, we might skip career path recognition tonight, because I don't think we have anyone brand new. So I think we're all pretty comfortable with what the career path is and where we are. I don't think we had anybody move on the career path this week. So we might just skip past that and go straight to talking about the STAR consultant program, if that's okay, Mom.
Sure. And I don't have a whole lot to say, and maybe we can add some more to it next week. but yes, because it's already 20 till. So yes. Okay. So the Star Consultant Program, I think most of the ladies on here know about Star Consultant Program. I know Amanda and Mindy and Janet. I don't know how much you know about it, but I'll go over it real quickly. Just to remind you, and someone will be watching this in the recording. So the Star Consultant Program is a quarterly program. And when you order 1,800 or more wholesale in the quarter, then you're considered a star consultant. There's level of star consultants. I probably should have looked up all the names, but as you have more production, then you get moved up. And the cool thing about it is you get prizes. There's more that happens, and I'll tell you about that. But the quarter runs, this present star quarter is over on December 15th. To start September 15th? Yes. September, October, November. No.
September 16th.
Yes, September 16th to October 16th, November. So by December 15th, you want to have 1,800 wholesale that you have ordered. And, you know, once again, that's from sales. So this is the time, get those holiday products out there. I sent out a bunch of pre-made kind of gift package ideas for people, and they can just say, I want package number 1 or package 3 or whatever, just to kind of you can do whatever you're comfortable with. There's been tons of ideas given on how to do some holiday sales, but you want to place an order of at least 1,800 in that time. And that's where the 600 per month comes in, because if you do 600 each month, it equals 1,800 at the end of a quarter. Now, you know, it's 300 by the middle of the month. So you'd have 300 in September, and then another 6, and then 300 in December, depending on how you break it up. But you can have more than that. And the ways that you can have more than that are if you get a Great Start qualified team member, it bumps you right up a level. And so one time I was like, I got a lot of team members January 2 years ago. And I was like, looking on my little reports, you guys can see all this under Mary Kay in Touch under business tools. And if you will look at, I believe it's action items, it tells you where you are in the quarter, and that's how you can know. And it can tell you you're a pearl star, and you can be a sapphire. But I'm making up, I don't remember the order that they go in, but you can go to the next level if you order another whatever. Well, I was looking at mine, and it was like I just needed to order $18 more, and I would jump to the next level. And I looked at the prizes, and one of the prizes was this big old Roku TV. And so I actually did not order a ton. I had my 1,800 in, but it bumped me up all the levels because I got a bunch of team members. So that is how you get to move up. Yeah, a Great Start qualified is somebody who has ordered 600 in their first 4 months. So if they do a 600 or more in their first inventory order, or if they just build up over 4 months and that they've ordered 600 over the 4 months, they become Great Start qualified. We need to talk about that more, because the pluses of that for you as a team leader on any level is pretty cool. So we'll talk about that more in the days and weeks to come. Okay, that's one thing, the prizes. I have gotten a TV. They changed it now, but in the past, it's even better. But in the past, I would just get Amazon cards, and I got a Ninja blender. I got a pink suitcase. I got a espresso machine, all kinds of cool stuff. I have so many cool star prizes, and that's just for running my business. But now they've changed it. It's like a little Amazon store. It's like a Mary Kay's store, and you just take your points, and it's got every category. It's got clothes, it's got housewares, it's got electronics, it's got trips, all the different areas, and you can save up your points. So you don't even have to use them in one quarter. You can just keep building your points and get a bigger prize. So that's pretty cool. Another thing, if you're a star with 1,800 or more, then you will have early ordering benefits when it comes, like we have the 10th is when you can start doing winter products, ordering them. And so you would have that early ordering on the 10th. And then the other thing is the company will put you, yes, a quarter is 3 months, 3 months, 3 months worth. So it's from the 15th to the 15th, 3 months. Yeah. But the company will put your name high on a list so that if somebody is searching for a Mary Kay consultant in your area, your name will pop up, because Mary Kay knows that you are somebody who's working your business, and you might have product on your shelf, or you're active and really working your business. So I have actually made several sales because somebody will say, I found your name online. Not a scam. You know, there are the scams, but know that they can find it other ways, and it can really be a sale where they don't have their consultant anymore and they're looking for somebody, or they just were looking for some Mary Kay products. Yes. Okay. Those are the main things. Whitney, did I miss anything? Those are the main ones I think of: the prizes, the early ordering, and you get moved up on the website. And if you make being a star your goal, you're going to be working your business consistently and seeing some good benefits from your business. So that's always my goal, is to do my 600 every month, to always be a star. Also, if you are a star for all the quarters of the year, all the quarters of the year, you get, I also love math. I love spelling and math, but I haven't had dinner yet. I don't know. My brain is dying. But anyway, what was I going to say, Whitney? Oh, do you get a star consistency prize? You do, from the company, and they're pretty cool. The company's giving me so many prizes. I'm not always sure what I'm getting the prizes for, but I've gotten some really cool purses, and I think that was from being a consistent star. I got a Coach bag and a Kate Spade bag for being 4 quarters consistent. And there you can see on Mary Kay in Touch, you can see what the prizes are that they are doing for that. That's what I know.
I love it. I think you are next up with announcements if you have any.
I do have announcements, and ladies, I have been working, but I have been like a little behind the 8 ball. Great things have been happening and lots of sales. And I'm like, okay, I got just more things for my unit here. So I'm kind of fitting things in, but we are working to have 5,500 in production. We came so close, and I didn't get to talk to you guys last week because I was at that meeting for the architect, but we came so close to hitting our production last month. We are going to hit it this month. No, there's no doubt we are. But we're working towards 5,500, and we're already about at 500, which is good, much better than we usually are. So that's fabulous. Fearless Unit is doing fabulous, and I need to make some kind of challenge with our group. Like, let's keep up with Fearless. You guys are moving. And then we're looking for 5 new. And the way we're going to get 5 new is by having people on the Thursday night chat. And the way you're going to get people on Thursday night chat is to invite people. I'm going to send the Hope Unit out a nice little text that you can send people that includes the Zoom link. And I'm going to encourage you to invite 5 people a week, and see if you can get a few on there each week, because that's how we're going to build our team. We build our teams, then they're going to do their inventory orders. We're going to make production, no problem. That all is going to work together. And as a unit, we're trying to get to 50 unit members by the end of the year. And we're in the 30s right now. So, and the end of our year is actually the end of the seminar year. It all comes out together. So we're working to get to 50 by then. So we need to add a few every month to get there. And we are looking to get $100 wholesale orders. Every time you order $100 wholesale, you're going to get entered into a drawing. I haven't made the graphic for it. This is the one that's like, you don't know, but I will tell you right now, we're going to be doing that. So every time you order 100, you're going to get entered into a drawing. So if you did a 6, then you would have 6 entries in there, and I'll just keep building up a little chart with your pictures on there for that. And those are my main things.
Those were good things. I loved it. Fearless Unit, we don't have too many different things that we're working on. We're shooting for 5,000 production this month. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but we have this cool little like chart that we're using where I'm filling it in every day, and it's like a thermometer kind of where we're filling it up. And we're also working to do 50 shares this month. And before you're like, no way, there's a lot of us in our unit. And if everybody did 3, we're done. I show 4 fingers. If everybody did 3, not 4 fingers. If everybody did 3 shares this month, it's done. Now, I think we all know not everybody's going to do 3. So if you want to build your team, do 5. Like do 5 to 10 shares this month. You will get a team member doing that. It's going to happen, but I can't do 50 shares alone. But statistically, 1 in 5 will say yes. So if we do 50 shares, statistically, we'll have around 10 new people in our unit, and that's what we need right now is we need new people. This is such a fun business, and I would love to have more women that were on these meetings and making money for their families. Don't you like making sales and making money? Don't you think more women need to have that feeling? I have had some phenomenal sales lately. I have been trying to shout my customers out on my customer page. I've gotten behind because I have more sales than I have time to shout out. Now, that is a great problem to have. I've never had that problem before. This is new for me, but things are working when it comes to sales. And I want so many women to be able to have that experience. So I just want to encourage you that if you haven't shared in a while, or if you're like not sure who to share with, go back, visit your customers list. There's people hiding in there, maybe people you shared with a while ago that you need to revisit. They're in there. So that is our goal. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda, who I'm pretty sure is going to be on the recognition for this past week. She had a really good week. But we're going to do some recognition for this past week.
All right. Hey, everyone. Okay. So if you opened your store for business this week with any sale, large, small, or large, can you wave at us? Okay. Yay. Awesome. All right. Let's see here. I'm scrolling through, make sure I don't miss anybody. And then did we have any Grand Day Achievers this past week? Yay, Amy, Whitney. I see you waving your hand. Woo. I saw Janet did. I think that was on Sunday, which counts for this week. You had 2 Grand Days yesterday, Janet. So yes, you are in there. Awesome.
Yes. Okay, so weirdly, our Mary Kay week goes Sunday to Saturday, so technically that counts for next week's meeting.
I saw 1st through 7th,
did-
so that's what confused me. I was like, on the agenda you sent. So
Did I do the dates wrong? I probably did the dates wrong. You know what? Whenever those Grand Days happen, whatever week it counts for, but you can count it tonight because I did those dates wrong for sure.
Okay, that's why I was confused. I was like, but I just want to make sure because I thought that's what it was, but no, that's okay. Okay. And then let's see here, high sales for the week. So that would have been, I guess, the 31st through the 6th. Does that sound right to you? I think so. Last Sunday through this past Saturday. Today. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. Did anyone sell 300 or more? I know I did. Yay, Amy. I see you did awesome. Okay, making sure I don't miss anybody. Let's see here. How much did you sell, Amy? 600. That's amazing. Open your store means you just sold anything, to anyone. So it could be an eyeshadow, anything small or large. Yeah. You did. Good job. 600 though, Amy. That's amazing. You're like your queen of sales, like times 2. Wow. That is so exciting.
I'm going to interrupt to say, Amanda, how much did you sell last week?
From those dates, it was $333. Yay.
Okay, so in Mary Kay, directors don't count for our queens of sales. And I don't know that we've ever distinguished that, but we sell because that's our job. You guys, mostly this is our side hustle. So we don't count for queens of sales. We like having good weeks too, but that means you, Amanda, are queen of sales. So we get from the queen. How did you get all your sales?
Let's see here. It started out when I found out that the mineral powders were transitioning over to the, what is it called? The finishing powder. Isn't that right? The setting. What is that?
Silky setting powder.
Setting powder. Yeah. And I told my customers who love that. And then right away, one lady ordered like $60. And then the others were surprise orders. This one lady who loves retinol, those are kind of pricey. She ordered like 2 of those. And then other reorders for makeup, and then my other customer who just loves trying new things. So it was just a great week of like reorders from good customers. So, it just all came at once. I was like, whoa, this is fun. So yeah.
I love that. And I just need y'all to know that I saw that Amanda was getting close to her 300. And I reached out and I was like, do you know? She was like, I do know. And she's acting like it all just happened. She did some work for this too and was like faithfully following up with her customers. So I know too much of the backstory to just like let that go. So
samples do help. Thanks to you, Whitney. That's what got me to the 300 was I had a customer that, oh, do you have any woody scented or like something like that? Perfumes, earthy. And so I did the Live Fearlessly because I use that little website thingy that tells you different categories. And then you gave me the sample and she's like, I love it. I want to get it. So that was nice right out of the bat. Samples really do help sell things. I've learned that. So that was fun. And then let's see. Okay, our next thing, I have my little agenda cheat sheet in front of me. Recognize those who plan to be a pre-pink achiever. So ordering 300 by the 15th. Anyone planning to do that? I'm not sure. Maybe so, because I'm going to be ordering some new products soon. So we'll see. Yay, Janet, I see you. Awesome. That is exciting. Let's see here. So we still have some time. Today's the 8th. So yeah, we have some time. And then recognize those who shared the opportunity last week. anyone share with anyone at all? Whitney, Amy, yay. Let's see here. Am I missing anybody? Okay, good, good, good. And then let's see here. 3 makes you the queen of share. So did either of you share with 3 or more people? 2. Okay, hey, that's good. And then anyone who had parties last week, did anyone have a party? No, it's okay. I'm definitely going to try and get some here. Holiday parties. We're talking about that today, Whitney, about this
Can
is a great time.
I say something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just wondering, what is an event considered a party?
I don't think I'm trying to think here. I don't know if this
Uh,
come up before. It's
That's
like if
a
you
that's
Go
a good
ahead.
question, Janet. So I would say no, but if you were working to just put product on people, like showing them the hand creams or something, you're working for like a certain number of faces or something, or like just people that were trying the product, I would say yes. As far as a party, the only reason I'd say no is that with a party, we're trying to get sales. And at an event that's a public event, we can't really like do sales. So that's the only difference. A party is just 3 people who, whatever setting that is, whether it's like on Facebook or in person, where you're showing them the product with the intent to see if they'd like to purchase. So, but you have a ton of new leads. So I think you will be having some parties here in coming days from all those leads.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. That was a really good week. Sounds like for everyone, so that's
Great.
awesome.
It's good, and it's fun to work your business when it's working. I know sometimes it's like I feel like I'm doing all the work and I'm not getting the results. That's not so fun. Been there many times. But if you will stick it out in those times where it doesn't feel like it's working, then you get to come to this other side where it's like, oh, well, that feels really good. Janet reached out to me and she was like overwhelmed because she had so many names and numbers for new people, which like isn't that a problem we all want to have? Like it's so great. So I was really proud of her because she worked and she, did a vendor event. So I think sometimes it's stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, being willing to ask some questions, be a little bit braver than we normally are, really leads to new results. So I wanted to add parties to our recognition because I didn't used to do that. And we're going to have 3 queens every week. We're going to have queen of sales, queen of shares, queen of parties. All of those are 3s. So if you sell 300 or more, queen of sales, 3 or more shares, 3 or more shares, queen of shares, 3 or more parties, queen of parties, because those are the things that Mary Kay taught us to do. And it's so easy to depart from the basics because there are other ways to get sales, but really if you want a thriving business, it always kind of comes back to those core things. So I wanted to make sure that we had our focus like on the things that'll impact our businesses the most, because I want you guys to have value with the time that you're spending on your businesses. So Mom, do you have anything that you need to add? I think it's muted. Book, sell, share, repeat.
Yeah, I was in the middle of typing that up. Yeah, so that's just kind of the recipe is book, sell, share, repeat. I don't, but I'm so proud of you ladies. We are going to have a fabulous November. I am so excited. Be there for your customers because they may not be able to get the other things that they're looking for Christmas, and we can be there to fill that need in a lot of different ways. So I'm excited for that. But no, you guys are doing such a great job and we're here to help you. You need something, let us know.
Very true. I love it. Well, ladies, thank you for being on tonight. I asked Janet if she would close our meeting in prayer. So Janet, if you're able to unmute, that would be perfect to finish out tonight.
Okay. All right. Okay. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for this evening and learning all these different things. Thank you for the ability to have this business, and thank you for the ladies that could come tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay.
Amen. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, ladies, for being on tonight. This was fun. We're excited about Glam Group. We're going to be talking all about the new products. So if you have customers in that group, you might want to send them a quick text or message and say, oh my goodness, it's 7:15. We're giving away a pH lip balm for those that commented on the posts this past week. They have 15 minutes, so they could like get in there and comment on all 4 posts real quick. And then during the live event for the commenters, we're going to give away eye gels. because that's the product. It's not a new product, but Mary Kay does like a featured item with the new products, and they're featuring the Indulge Soothing Eye Gel. So we're going to give those away during. So it's just a really fun night to be on there, different than what we've been doing the past 2 weeks. And that always brings some excitement because it's like, oh, we're doing something different than we've been doing. So that'll be very fun. So we're excited, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.